What's going on YouTube? It's your host, Bruce GNT. And for today's video, we're going to focus on California. And the reason why I'm focused on California is because California is kind of going through a transition right now as the governor is coming up on the last few years of his term. And he's kind of trying to crack down on crime. Why he's trying to crack down on crime now when he had all this time to do it, I don't know. Maybe he has big aspirations. President 2028. But essentially what we're going to focus on is the implementation of Proposition 36, which was put in place to partially oppose Proposition 47. Now, if you don't know, Proposition 47 was put into place November 14th, 2014, and its main purpose was to kind of lighten the load when it came to the prisons within California because they were going through overcrowding. And then it also recategorized shoplifting, fraud, forgery, and grand theft to misdemeanors as opposed to them being felonies. So in this case, when it came to the forgery, the shoplifting, the grand theft, and what was it called again? The fraud, as long as it was not exceeding $950. Now, some people could look at that and kind of go, you know what? That's not a bad idea. At least it's making it so that we really get the real violent and the real offensive criminals off the streets. No. What's been going on for the past few years is that California's been going through it when it comes to like just petty crime and, you know, just mostly shoplifting. I guess there was a little bit when it came to like grand theft and everything like that. And then, you know, obviously shoplifting was like the main thing that people were seeing that was like, okay, California's lost the plot. Like it's out there. But essentially it made it so that people could, for the most part, just walk in, take what they wanted, and then kind of walk out. And if they got apprehended, they would pretty much get a citation and then a requirement for, I think, a court date, and be told, hey, look, show up. You have to show up. And that's really it. They just get released back into Gen Pop. And California's been paying for that. So essentially what's been going on for the past few years, a lot of businesses, big and small, have been leaving California. The main concentrated areas that they've been leaving was San Francisco and Oakland. And I want to say parts of LA as well. If I can get some information about that on like what companies have been leaving, I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see. But yeah, that's what's been pretty much going on. So since Proposition 47 came into play, a whole lot of lawlessness and just nonsense has been going on. But now, voted in, I want to say last month, you know, to welcome the new year, Proposition 36. So Proposition 36 apparently, it was supposed to oppose certain parts of Proposition 47. Even though I told you part of what Proposition 47 was like aimed to do, that wasn't the full gist of it. If you want to look it up, I might have a link in the description, like so you could find out, you know, what exactly it was all about in great detail. But Proposition 36 made it so that felony charges could be processed, you know, against, you know, people that commit fraud, shoplifting, forgery, and grand theft, even if it is below $950, right? But it was also contingent on that person being a repeat offender. So I want to say they would have to have 2 prior convictions. And also it came into play when it came to drug possession as well, because Proposition 47 opposed drug possession up to a certain weight. I'm not too sure about the weight. And Proposition 36 kind of repealed that and said, no, just drugs. But yeah, let's jump right into it because we have some thieves that they got caught up. So let's jump right in.
Video showing an accused shoplifter shocked to learn that she may face a felony charge for theft. The Southern California Police Department is now reminding folks about the new Prop 36 law that cracks down on low-level theft. Matt Finn live in Los Angeles to explain all of this.
Like brazen, they
memo to shoplifters, you can now be prosecuted.
No shame.
That's right, John. And you know, here in California, we've reported on countless cases of brazen theft, shoplifting with no significant consequences. But last month, California voters overwhelmingly approved the new law, Prop 36, which rolls back criminal justice reform policies that critics say led to overwhelming crime. Police and prosecutors now have more leeway to charge crimes as felonies. Like this video from Seal Beach in Orange County. 3 women walk into an Ulta Beauty store and then a Kohl's, casually stealing whatever they want, not even trying to conceal some of their stolen goods. Even after leaving the stores, the women, they're in no rush, but are surprised when Seal Beach police run up on them, and after a short chase, they arrest the thieves. Take a listen here as a police camera captures 2 of these young women talking about their shock that they were arrested for a felony.
It's a felony?
new laws. Stealing is a felony, and this is Orange County. They don't play.
The three women were.
So let me get this straight. Your homegirl knew, you didn't know, and you still walked up in there stealing with your girl that was ignorant of the... Like, I don't get that. First of all, their confusion as to what's going on is just baffling to me. You walked into a store and just stole things, which everyone learns at a young age to not do, and just walked out like it was any old Tuesday.
Booked into an Orange County jail on charges of grand theft, conspiracy to commit a crime, and resisting arrest. Now, yesterday in Bakersfield, California, Dustin Towery pleaded not guilty to stealing 2 scooters from a Target store. Before Prop 36, Towery could only be charged with a misdemeanor, but now the DA can and did charge this man with a felony, in part because he had 6 prior convictions for stealing and a history of skipping out on court appearances.
Had it been before the passage of Prop 36, he would have been given, if caught, which he resisted arrest, but if caught, he would have been given a citation and a promise to appear. Now, because of the voters, this man is in custody and can't steal again, at least for a while.
They gave this man a little ticket and a pinky promise. Hey, show up to court on this day. If you pinky promise, you can't break it. Like, that's so ridiculous.
And because of that man's criminal past, the judge ordered him held in jail without bail. Again, something that would not have been possible just a few weeks ago here in California. John.
It's a whole new world out there. Matt Finn for us from Los Angeles. Matt, thank you.
So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because Gavin Newsom is the governor of Oakland, California. I think one of the worst governors ever, because I'm gonna have maybe a video where I talk about different politicians. I for sure want to work on me talking about like the worst mayors across the U.S. That's something that I've been cooking up for like a while. I just need to get all my information in a row and all my ducks and information in a row. And then once that's it, you know, I'm just gonna do like a several part series talking about that. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. But I definitely want to focus on like just politicians in general, and he's gonna be at the top of my list because the incompetence that he's had and like the laziness, how lackadaisical he's been when it comes to like crime is just astounding. But funny enough, right around the time that you know the election was going on, miraculously he started getting tough on crime. He started getting tough on homelessness. Like he did like a few photo ops where he was out cleaning like the average everyday person, you know. But yeah, let's go right into it and see why he's, let's infer why he's cracking down on the crime that's been going on for years now, towards the end of his term.
A little bit longer. The governor announced the extension today, but also tacked on a warning to the Oakland Police Commission. NBC Bay Area's Valina Jones was there for the announcement and explains why Governor Gavin Newsom says he's done helping Oakland if it doesn't take action soon. A stern warning.
So before he, says whatever nonsense he has to say, I'm confused, and maybe I'll see in this video. It seems like he's coming at the police officers, but I remember I've been watching videos and doing a little bit of research on Sheng Tao, the mayor of Oakland, and her and the police are not on good terms. Like they're staunchly opposed to each other.
In a press conference today, the Oakland Police Officers Association flatly accused Mayor Sheng Tao of making Oakland a more dangerous place.
For almost 2 years, we've been waiting, and we see this ship is not steering in the right direction. The leadership in the city continue to fail again and again, and the citizens out in the street are suffering.
In a lengthy letter, the police union listed several criticisms of the mayor, including the city missing a state deadline to potentially qualify for millions in crime-fighting funding. They also note the FBI raid on her home, saying it creates a lack of credibility. The union points to the mayor for crime being out of control, highlighting the past 48 hours, where a sideshow led to 5 people being shot and a separate shooting, leaving 3 wounded. OPOA blames the mayor and the city council majority for a recently passed budget that cuts the police force from 712 to 678 officers.
We're working backward if we think that we can function as 600 police officer or 678 police officer in this city. The demand from our community is greater today than ever.
The letter demanding Tao's resignation comes after a unanimous vote by the POA's 4-person executive board. However, the union says there is overwhelming support of the letter by rank-and-file officers. The mayor says the letter and timing are simply meant to distract from the city's deal to sell the Oakland Coliseum.
You know what's funny too? There was also a story that he was assigning state police to the Oakland area because of the fact that they were so understaffed and they had essentially no money.
Governor Gavin Newsom is deploying the CHP to Oakland and the East Bay as part of a law enforcement surge operation. So the governor says this is a temporary deployment of patrol officers, specialized units, advanced investigative technology. In total, we have about 120 officers now that are going to be working with local law enforcement to crack down on vehicle theft, retail theft, violent crime too. The move will increase state law enforcement personnel in Oakland and the East Bay by nearly 900%.
So, you know what? We're just going to jump in because I'm interested to see in what he cooks up as to why he's no longer going to help Oakland and like what's his next move.
Policies or lose state support to combat public safety. The demand comes as Newsom announced he's adding a month to the program that's providing extra CHP officers to help in Oakland.
Yeah.
We need to see that policy change.
Just like what I was saying, state police.
This commitment from the state can't continue unless we see commensurate changes.
Currently, OPD is only allowed to pursue someone if they're suspected of a violent crime or when a gun is present. Newsom made the announcement surrounded by Oakland community leaders, council members, and CHP officials. All agree public safety in the town is at a tipping point.
Oakland cannot afford to now continue to be an outlier. Criminals know they can act with little consequence, putting our residents, workers, and visitors at risk.
In February, the governor quadrupled CHP resources in Oakland to help tackle property crime, retail theft, and sideshows. The results, over 1,400 arrests and $13 million in stolen goods returned.
If there is not urgency taken, what is your concern about the impacts that Oakland will see after we've had this huge reduction in crime?
What the voters did, I hope, gives everybody a little bit of backbone as well, to recognize the public's behind them if they pursue change. And this is one of many things we can be doing.
Voters overwhelmingly recalled both Alameda County DA and Mayor Sheng Tao, largely over crime concerns.
It is my hope that in the new council that we can get this done in the next 30 days.
Yeah, so like I was saying, she was pretty bad because the people were crying out, hey, we need help. And she's just like, Oakland is a great city. It's strong. And with me, it's been made stronger. And it's like, the people are saying, no, you're lying.
Supporters of the current policy argue police chases are dangerous and disproportionately target people of color. But Councilmember Kevin Jenkins believes this added pressure could trigger a turning point.
The city administrator is going to help the OPD chief come up with a policy, and that will go to the police commission. As the governor said, we need this with urgency. We don't want our police chasing folks for jaywalking, but we do want a balanced approach.
The police commission responded to the governor's comments via statement, saying in part, we give our commitment to respond to the call for action and to do our part to work with city leadership to make Oakland a safer place by implementing smart policy and best practices to deter reckless behavior. The commission currently plans to discuss potential changes at the end of January, but Newsom is urging them to call a special session.
They can do so with urgency, with focus, conviction to address the issue at hand, the crisis at hand. I would expect and demand that they do.
In Oakland, Valina Jones, NBC Bay Area News.
I don't really understand that. Like, he's trying to be like, hey, look, you guys stood up and you voted for this, and you showed that backbone right there. So it's time for you guys to also push it a little bit further along to help me help you. And it's like, but you're the governor. This isn't new. This has been going on for years now, and no one said anything. And you know what? I'm not gonna say that. People have been saying something. Oakland residents have been saying something. It's been falling on deaf ears. And I wouldn't say until. It wasn't until like Sheng Tao, she got raided by the FBI, because she did. It's only until that happened that like the public eye, the eye of Sauron, was like put on Oakland for the most part, and people were seeing, okay, this place is a mess. The amount of businesses that have left Oakland, it's just insane. And not just Oakland as well, like San Francisco. London Breed came online and was basically saying, hey, no, crime is down. You know, things are going well. And it's like,
a San Francisco neighborhood market owner says he is closing his doors after 35 years in business. Here's NBC Bay Area Sergio Quintana with more.
For some longtime customers of the Bayside Market, seeing a letter taped to their front doors announcing the market is closing was a bummer.
We're disappointed to learn that our lovely neighborhood store was closing down, and obviously it's been a central part of the community.
What are you going to do for your morning routine now?
Ah, man. I think I'm gonna have to buy like a coffee maker, then just make my own sandwiches at home. You know, I have to like walk pretty far to get it like anywhere else, so
The owner of the market isn't happy about it either. What does it feel like to have made the decision that you have to leave this space?
It sucks. I mean, this is my livelihood.
David Pasusic says the cost of running any small business continues to rise by thousands of dollars between the rising price of inventory, insurance, and his monthly PG&E bill. But the safety of his employees and the often violent responses they get when they regularly catch shoplifters is the main reason why he's closing up shop.
Some of them refuse to give it back, fight us, try to fight us, and or they say, well, go ahead and call the police. I'll wait for the police to show up. And they laugh in your face because they know they're not going to show up.
Along with the harassment and violence, he says he's also had to resort to boarding up his windows at closing time because of repeated break-ins. And for those reasons, the Bayside Market will close as of Friday.
California's Prop 36 is now in effect, increasing penalties for certain theft and drug crimes. Crown 4's Lindsay Ford spoke about the new law with store managers in one of San Francisco's busiest shopping areas.
The Haight-Ashbury neighborhood is bustling this holiday season with shoppers and diners, but it's also a popular target for criminals.
All the time. So the front right now is currently wooden board because of people driving through the gate overnight. That's happened 2 times this year, and then we get stolen from all the time.
2nd Street is a vintage retail shop that's been in business for 3 years. Store manager Roman says the shop has lost an estimated $50,000 in merchandise.
We have security and stuff, but it doesn't always. People have been really brazen in the past, just coming in and grabbing stuff and walking out. It's really annoying.
Over at Carey Lane, another retail store is having the same issues. Levine Karawijimiloff, the assistant manager, shows photos on her phone of a reoccurring thief.
They've never caught him or anything. He's verbally assaulted us, he's threatened us.
She says it's not just about the looting that's disturbing, it's safety for her and employees.
Said that he was gonna punch if we try to stop him, stuff like that. He's never actually, done anything, but he's obviously violent.
but that's not true because the residents are saying it's not true. That's why she got booted on out of there during this past election cycle, because they were tired of her essentially just lying to them.
Here at home, New Year means new laws aimed at battling retail and property theft. It is a tough on punishment stance meant to punish thieves and those selling those stolen goods. NBC Bay Area's Ian Cole has a look at the assist for prosecutors and police.
Retail theft has been a hot issue in recent years, and today new laws to try and stop it go into effect. Some of them are the 10 bills Governor Newsom signed at a Home Depot in San Jose back in August.
Look, success is smashing these retail theft rings. Success is breaking them apart.
One of the laws says if you've stolen over $950 worth of items, even if they're from different stores and in different counties, prosecutors can add those crimes up and charge you with grand theft. Another law allows stores to file a restraining order against you if you've stolen from them and ban you from entering the business for 2 years.
It's important to get California back under control. We shouldn't have to go into stores and have the items we'd like to purchase in cases and have to get help.
That was something that pissed me off. I was in New York and I forgot about that. I was in I think I went to CVS and I was like, oh man, I gotta get that floss pick. And I was like, oh man, and I was seeing it, and I was just like, it's behind glass. And literally there was a queue essentially, so I can call the woman over so she could open it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna use the string floss I have at home, because the pick floss is able to get to where I need to get to. And yeah, no, this is ridiculous. Stuff like that makes me go, you know what? I don't even want it anymore. I'll just leave. I don't need it, Yeah, it's just ridiculous because as you saw in that one video, it said 2022. It's been going on for years, but now he's deciding to do something about it. What I think is going on, I think he's preparing for 2028. He's up in 2026. So I could definitely see him gearing up to prepare that presidential campaign in 2028. That's why he's all of a sudden now making changes, because he had, what, 6 years to do it. Decided to sit on his ass. But you know.
Or they're simply not on the shelves because they've been removed with no consequences.
Michael Leninger is a former San Jose police officer and security consultant. He says these laws will give county DAs more tools to prosecute thieves.
But I also believe that the community will feel a significant impact from this. Most importantly, they can learn to contact law enforcement again, and that something will be done.
Prop 36, passed by voters, also went into effect 2 weeks ago, allowing for increased penalties for property crimes along with fentanyl trafficking. And State Senator Scott Wiener's bill regarding car break-ins is now law. It closes the so-called locked door loophole.
And so we were seeing cases lost as a result.
Car owners will no longer have to prove that every car door was locked when it was broken into.
Before today,
you know how much that would piss me off to know that I have to prove to you that my property was locked just so I can get any type of compensation? You know how insane that is? Like, not saying that I believe anyone should just leave their stuff unlocked. Yeah, I'm from New York. I don't believe in doing that. But I have to pretty much prove to you that my stuff was, it was like what? And even if it wasn't, I got robbed. Like, that shouldn't be happening.
even if you have proved that the person bashed their way into the car, that's not good enough to prove auto break-in. You have to show that the doors were locked. It was ridiculous.
Leninger believes the new laws will deter crime and reverse policies over the last decade that relaxed penalties on thieves.
Yeah, the whole thing is pretty much, it's just insane. But look, I'm actually interested to see how this is going to turn out, you know, within this coming year. What direction California is going to go, because we saw in the last election that just happened just now, they're turning more red. I think the citizens, the people, the voters are getting upset. They're tired of the same old. I mean, Proposition 47 was in place since what, 2014, and now it's only being kind of opposed, what, 10 years later. So you have people that were crying out. They were people that were pretty much saying, I can't call the police because they're not going to help me. And God forbid someone broke into my car, I can't do anything about it. Like, I got to go and make sure the doors are locked before I call the police because I'm not going to get any type of help. So this is good. You know, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with, you know, places like Oakland, San Francisco, and LA, because especially Oakland, I feel is teetering on bankruptcy. But I'll do a video on that when I'm addressing Shangtao way later, because that's going to take a while. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. This one, I want to keep it pretty short because just letting people know what's going on in California, of all places, you know. But yeah, you know, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me, especially if you live in the California area, just tell me your experiences. Tell me how that's been. And if you're, I'm not going to say excited, but looking forward to a change that's going to be going on, especially when it comes to crime within your area. And subscribe for more videos. Peace.